Hey, Terry, I feel a little bit like Kendrick Camus looking underneath.
Yeah.
Just watch that last night.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I felt like that was a really fun interview. If you haven't had a chance to yet, head on over to Racing Radar TV over at YouTube, our channel. You can find the link for it, of course, at the top of our horseracingtoday.net page. Just click on the YouTube icon or just go over to YouTube and look it up. Sean and I talked to Kendrick last night. It was a lot of fun. I mentioned that I felt like he was a jockey who did a little bit better up on the front, and I was kind of wondering what kind of response I was going to get to that. And he just basically said, "Yeah, I like to be up front. When I get up front, if I got the right fractions, you're not beating me."
That's right. Yeah, and I think it's a good way to go. A lot of those jockeys don't like to get that mud and dirt thrown in their face. So, so I guess being up front, if you got the horse to do it, is a good way to be.
Indeed. And then, of course, yesterday, Terry and I won both. We both had the late pick fours at, what did we do, Parks yesterday, right, Terry?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. So,
and then my best bet won there.
Bon tardy to you as well. I guess that means hello, or you're a little late. I'm not quite sure, but whatever it means, you're right both ways.
Yep.
So, yeah, we definitely had a good day there. We had a good day at a contest, too. We both qualified for the weekend contest, so that's a positive as well.
It is.
I'm learning a lot about, and I think it's going to actually help. There's no question I think it's going to help the handicapping. At least I'm learning that a little bit more on how to try to find the long shots, so to speak, right?
Yeah. I think that's the best way. You get better value that way. So
good old Texas morning to you as well. I wouldn't mind living down in the Lone Star State. It's a lot different than it is up here in Illinois, and sooner or later I'm going to move to one of the free states in America. In any case, Terry, today we're going to go to Gulfstream Park down in South Florida. I looked last night. It looked like there was supposed to be a little bit of weather down there today. I don't know that that's actually happened. Right now, when I last checked, the track was listed as fast and firm. I don't know that that's changed.
No, I don't either. So,
all right. So let's assume that all the rate. Well, we should never assume. Well, we do a good job of making asses out of ourselves without assuming anyway. So what the hell difference does another day make, right?
Yeah.
So race one is 5 furlongs on the turf. It's a claiming 35,000 non-winners of 2 lifetime. If you take a look at these quick turf races, I mean, it's Gulfstream Park. You know you got to be fast. 31 races, 21 by speed, meaning they're a first, second, or third at the 3/16 marker, I think is where they do the first call in 5 furlongs. 14 of the 31 went wire to wire. Looks to me like the posts 2 and 3 and 8+ have a small advantage over the rest of the field. And there's also a small penalty if you ride the rail. And you've decided to beat the penalty again, Terry.
Yeah, I decided I'm going to try to do that. So I like number 1, Zip Line to Heaven. This horse likes.
We all need one of those, right? Especially as we get older.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, this horse likes the turf, finishing 3 out of 4 times in the money, and won one of those, and now it returns to the turf. Likes the distance, finishing 3 out of 3 times in the money, winning one of those. And then number 4, Scotty Brown, switches to a high percentage winning jockey who in the last 7 days have won 6 out of 22 races, been in the money 12 times. And then the trainer wins 17% of the races when her entry has been away 90+ days. And then the best turf speed, this horse has the best turf speed among today's starters, and it was bumped last race.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6, Determined Fury, beaten only a length and a half versus similar on an all-weather track in the last start, and now returns to the turf where he's done well in the past. He has the highest last speed rating, and the jockey in the last 7 days has won 8 out of 24. And then number 7, Aeronaut, ran second versus similar on the dirt in the last race and switches to high percentage winning jockey.
Terry, your picks today look a lot like, if you haven't done these handicapping contests to see if you can qualify for like the national handicapping tournaments, there's at least one or two, sometimes more entries where they take the same horse all the way across. There's obviously no handicapping skill in that, right? They're just hoping that in this case for Terry, if the 4-horse were to win, if he just slides 2 4-horses over,
I would have had him.
Yeah.
Yeah, would have had him every race but one.
Yes, and it'll look just like those. And I don't understand. I mean, I understand why they do it. They're hoping that a bunch of like 4 horses win on that day, and a few of them are prices.
Yeah.
But it's just your sheet kind of reminds me of that today. So I'm starting off at number 6 on this hump day. Terry, we didn't get to the hump day thing, but today is camel day for sure. Determined Fury is my top pick. As I mentioned, speed is the way to win. This horse has the top early pace margins by a wide. I mean, it's 4 or 5 length lead over the next horse. I don't know that it'll be 4 or 5 lengths out of the gate, but certainly that big on paper. Has the top pedigree, and last time out did indeed live up to that and ran some of the fastest quarter-mile fractions for this group. And this horse is making its 3rd start off a layoff, so it should improve. Number 4, Scotty Brown. I think that's the name of wasn't that the name of like a senator from Massachusetts, Scott Brown? Anyway, horse has taken the biggest drop in the field last time out, ran for $90,000, cutting that number all the way down to 36. Does like some Gulfstream Park, Terry. This is a Denzel Washington horse at Gulfstream Park. 3 races, 0 wins, 2 seconds and a third. At the distance, not as strong, but still pretty solid. 4 races, 0 wins, 2 seconds and a third. The horse is making its first start off a bench, and I like to see horses that ran well in their debut, ran well in another race or 2 off the bench, and it's got a mixed bag there. So sometimes a good effort, sometimes not such a good effort. Number 7, Aeronauts, had some really nice in-race improvements last time for its 2 furlong and 4 furlong pace numbers, and had the second best second call pace number that the horse has ever produced. And in these short races, like 6 furlongs or 5 furlongs, that 4 furlong number is the turn. Yeah. Right. So that's the second call is usually the turn in these things too. So that's a pretty good place to have a really good pace number, because when you're coming out of that turn, you're building momentum for home. And the horse has run the fastest quarter-mile fractions that any horse in this field has put together. And finally, my 4th pick is your first pick, Zipline to Heaven. Though in order for a zip line to work, don't know that you have to go down, Terry?
You do, yeah.
So I don't know that I want to zip line to heaven. I think that's one of those opposite day things. But this is another horse that's a Denzel Washington horse, knocking on the winner circle's door, but not really getting there a lot. Should show more in its 3rd race off a layoff. Race number 2, Terry, is a 6 furlong race, claiming 12,500 non-winners of 2 lifetime. And it's important to note that this race is on dirt and not on the all-weather track, because there's a big difference between the two. And that's one of the funny things that the new Gulfstream, maybe that's why everybody's mad at Gulfstream for the Tapeta course. It's because it requires a little extra work to make sure you know what surface they're running on. But for 6 furlongs, again, the dirt track at Gulfstream Park, fast, 73 races, Terry, 67 of them won by horses that were 1st, 2nd, or 3rd at the quarter-mile marker. 32 of the 73 never gave up the lead once they came out of the gate. There is a pretty strong rail bias here, Terry, an overall inside 3 bias. And if you get a number at 8+, it outperforms 4 through 7. You're going to start with number 5. Where's Joey?
Yeah, I wonder where is Joey.
Hopefully he's in the winner's circle, right?
That's right.
At least for you.
He was only beaten a length and a half versus similar on an all-weather track in the last start. And doing that, he received the highest last speed rating. And his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters, although he's really tied with number 3. Number 4, Awesome Pudding, ran a disappointing 8th after being bumped really pretty bad at the start in the last race, but drops in class today. And then number 6, Pride and Passion, switches to a high percentage jockey and has a trainer in the last 14 days who's won 40% of the races that his mount's been entered in. Mm-hmm. And then number 3, American Matters, has plenty of speed, early speed, which will help chances. And the trainer wins 33% of the races when dropping off of a claim. His best dirt speed is fastest among today's starter, actually tied with Where's Joey.
Oof, your last pick is my first pick. American Matters. Horse has put together the fastest quarter mile fraction, so it can get out of the gate and go. It can really pick them up and put them down when it wants to. Making the second biggest drop, not a large drop. It ran for $30,000 last time, just to 24. But what I really like about this horse, Terry, is that it's put in 20 furlongs of workouts since December 20th. So not only is the horse fast, but the horse should be fit. Fast and fit, it's a pretty good combination, I hope, at a 6 furlong race. Your first pick, my second pick. Where's Joey? Let me just kind of go on. One of my best friends growing up, his name was Joe. His grandmother was down in Boca Raton, Florida, not too far from where the races are today. And I went down there, and like Joe and I were always had like a little bit of really good friends, but we both wrestled. We were both kind of wanting to, kind of trying to command the room types, and so there's always a little bit of, competition there. But in any case, we're down there on the New Year's, and we're going to go out. And her grandmother, bless my soul, old Jewish lady, wonderful lady. She says to him, Joey, you're a handsome boy, but let me tell you something. You got nothing on your father. Now that was a handsome boy. And I just started laughing so hard. This is one of the funniest moments of my life. But in any case, where's Joey? Well, he's not as handsome as his dad. We know that. The horse is making the second start off a layoff, which should be better than the first start off the bench. Did run the top last race speed figure on all weather last time. So they go back to dirt. But in the money in the dirt, 2 races so far with a win and a third. Awesome Pudding. Don't have any funny stories about Awesome Pudding, Terry. But this horse won its debut with Tyler Gaffleone in the Ayers, went wire to wire at 6 furlongs. Now Tyler's back, so they're trying to probably relive that race. And if they can, it's the second race off a layoff and did have a decent work in between spots. So run back to that debut. Hopefully that maintenance work has the horse ready to go. And then number 7, High Yield Kitten, does have the top late pace numbers by a pretty good margin. On top of that, it did run some better internal races early on, internal numbers early on last time out for the 2 furlong and 4 furlong numbers. So horse making its third start off the bench. And when you look back at the only other 3 race cycle, or at least the most recent one, that was the best of the 3. But for me, it was a pretty tough call with that horse or number 6, Pride and Passion, which is your third choice. Race number 3 is, come on, mouse work, 1 mile, claiming 12,500. This one is also on the dirt, and it's a 1-turn dirt mile, which is important to note. As we've talked many times, jockeys have told us that 1-turn dirt races tend to run more like sprints than they do routes. And that shows up in the data here, Terry. 60 races, 46 won by horses that were first, second, or third at the quarter mile marker. 20 of the 60, so a third of them went wire to wire. There is an 8+ bias, but posts 1 through 7, there's real no big advantage. You're going to start off with number 4, Mr. Tito's.
Yes, Mr. Tito's likes the track, finishing 8 out of 10 times in the money, winning 3 of those, and likes the distance, finishing in the money 7 out of 8 times and winning 2. And the trainer wins 20% of the time when bringing back a beaten favorite.
Is race. Mr. Tito's like a gin or something like that?
I don't know.
I think it's some alcohol. Race 5, I like the 1 class drop, which should increase the chance. Yeah, we'll talk about that race number 5.
Yeah.
Neither one of us have the 1, so we hope you're right, Mike, but not really. Go ahead.
All right. Number 3, Town Classic, returning to dirt, which I think could help. And the trainer wins 31% of the time in the second race after being claimed. Best dirt speed is fast among today's starters, and the trainer who in the last 14 days has a record of 5 starts, 2 wins in the second. Number 1, Financial System, finished third versus similar in the last race, and receives the highest last speed rating. And this trainer wins 28% of the time in the first race after being claimed. Early speed running style will help the chances. And the jockey in the last 7 days have won 4 out of 10, been in the money 6 out of 10. And then number 5, Lustino, Finished third versus similar in the last race at Gulfstream Park, and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, has the highest speed figure at today's distance.
Well, I'm going to start out on the rail with number 1, Financial System. The horse does have the ability to really get up and go. It does run, has run the fastest quarter mile fractions out of any horse in this field. Third race out of the barn, so I'm expecting more today than I saw in the last race. 2 pretty good works, or just at least okay maintenance work since the last race, so the horse should be fit. It's the first time off a claim for trainer Jorge Delgado, and he's done that 135 times. 39 of those races ended up in the winner's circle. Number 3, Talent Classic. You want to talk about a Denzel Washington horse, Terry, or a Bob Dylan knocking on the winner circle's door. It's ran at Gulfstream Park 8 times. 0 wins, 5 seconds, and a third. It's run at the distance 4 times. 0 wins, 4 seconds, and a third. It's the only horse in the field that's taken a cut in price this time. Last time out, tried to luck for $50,000 purse. Today, almost cutting that in half to $28,000. Another horse that's making its third start off the layoff, that classic handicapping angle. And last time out, we saw some improvement in its 2 furlong and 4 furlong numbers. Number 6 is a horse that I don't think you have. It's where we're different. I have Benefactor. It's a horse that I think should be close to the pace. Is probably going to be a pace setter. You know, since we talked with Mark Patterson, I've been looking a little bit more at those start numbers. And this is a horse that seems to get out clean pretty regularly. So if it can just run back to its last race on dirt, Benefactor could be a decent price. And then Mr. Tito's, your top pick, is my last pick. It's 10 races at Gulfstream Park, finished in the money of them 8 with 3 wins, 3 seconds, and 2/3. So I mean that's its lifetime record. Excuse me. At Gulfstream Park, ran 8 times with 2 seconds, 2 wins, 3 seconds, and 2/3. Woo! And no, that's at the distance. I had that right. The first one was Gulfstream. The second one is distance. I just need to do a better job with my notes. And this horse has some of the fastest opening fractions last time out. Confusing myself, Terry, which happens on a daily basis, right?
It does, yes.
Yeah, unfortunately. Race 4, we go back to how we started, 5 furlongs on the turf. Again, 5 furlongs on the turf, just for a quick recap in this maiden optional claiming $50,000 race. 31 efforts, 21 by speed, 14 of the 31 wire to wire. Looks like you want to be 2 or 3 or 8 or out, but there's really not much of a penalty anywhere but the rail. You're going to start off with number 3. Are girls worth it? We asked that question before, Terry. What is the answer?
Well, sometimes I think, and sometimes not. So anyway, she ran second versus similar on an all-weather track in her last race, but she only lost by the nose, and she received the highest last race speed rating. The dam has 5 winners from 6 starters, and one of those winners was the turf winner. The trainer-jockey combination in the last 14 days has won 2 out of 3 starts. And then number 6, Devilly, finished third versus similar in an all-weather track last race. Has a high percentage winning jockey, and best turf speed is the fastest. It's faster than the average speed. And then number 9, Magnolico. I don't know how to.
Number 9. Let's see. Let me give it a crack. Number 9 is Magniloquent.
Yeah,
Magniloquent. Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't know what they do with these names. Anyway, finished third versus similar in the last race. Has a high percentage winning trainer, and Lasix is being added. Number 11, Rufa Red Knot, ran disappointing 8th after being bumped in his last start, or her last start. And then she's got breeding that suggests she'll like the grass. The dam has 5 winners from 7 starters. 2 of them were turf winners. And the trainer wins 24% of the time when bringing a beaten favorite back to the race. This horse should improve with a shorter distance, and they've added Lasix.
I'm going to start off with Devilly. Interestingly to me, Luis Saez, who's the top jockey down there, he stays on number 6, Devilly, and gets off of Magniloquent, which is pretty interesting to me because Magniloquent is the morning line favorite. Peter Aiello decided that that's the horse, that the bettors were probably back. We'll get to some reasons why. But this horse did run well, Devilly, in its turf debut, and it also ran pretty well in all weather last time out, just in case there is a little bit of wet down there today. The last race, speed figure, was above par for this group, and that was the third consecutive speed figure in a row where the horse upped its number. It'll be looking to do it another time today in its third start off the layoff. Our Girl's Worth It has the top early pace and late pace combination in the field. That combines with the top last race speed figure last time out. And that was in its first race off the bench. So sometimes when you see that, I do worry myself about a little bit of a bounce there. A decent workout in between, and it's another horse that's moved up that speed ladder every single race for the last three. Magniloquent, Luis Saez, as I mentioned, gets off this horse. Might be a mistake. The horse has put in a lot of workouts, 29 furlongs of workouts since December 28th. So, man, he's been busy. This is a horse that's getting first-time Lasix and has shown some early speed. And when it did run last time out, its speed figure 2 was above par for this level. And then I was having a real difficult time between the 11, the 10, and the 4. Love making sense. The 10 horse is a nice long price. So I was thinking, do I put the price in? So I decided to go with the 11, Rufa Red Knot. It does have the top early pace numbers in this field, getting Lasix, so speed matters. And you know, Terry, I like speed with first-time Lasix. That was the selling point for me. That's what made me put it above the 10 and the 4. Did run some really good quarter-mile fractions last time out, so I expect you're going to see it do again the same. And when you put together trainer Mark Cassie and jockey Edwin Gonzalez, they've run together 35 times. They've managed to find the winner's circle 11 times. Those numbers are impressive, but to me, the most impressive number of all is that they have a $2.42 positive ROI. So for every dollar you bet, you get $2.42 back in profits, Terry, if you just, that was your only angle. And like you said, where else can you turn $1 into $3.42 in a minute and a half?
That's right.
Not too many other places on the planet, certainly not at the bank, right?
Nope.
Before we head off to the race of death, Terry, race number 5, and we all know why that's the race of death, because that is the connector today. I'm pretty sure I got that one right.
You did, yes.
Yesterday I screwed that up pretty well. But tonight, if you head on over to the horse racing radar, again, our horse center tonight, we have on jockey Jorge A. Vargas. This should be a pretty good show as well. I'm looking forward to talking to Jorge a little bit about, you know, what he looks for on our track and see if we can get any insights from him as well.
Yeah, sounds like it's going to be a good show to me. I'm looking forward to it. So,
yes, again, you'll catch us at 8 o'clock Eastern on Racing Radar TV here on the YouTube channel. If you haven't done it already, please hit the subscribe button. I think we're 42 away from 1,000. Mm-hmm. So help us get to that 1,000 by hitting the subscribe button. And so that you can be kept up to date, you see the scroller down there. I'm sorry, I'm lazy. I forgot to add Instagram. So if you like Instagram, it is the same as YouTube, as our Facebook and our Twitter. Horse Race, the number 2 day. Horse Race Today, the handle for all Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. All right, Terry. Race number 5, the race of death. The race where Mike is trying to beat us with his 5 horse. He says here, race number 5, he likes the number 1 on the class drop, and that number 1 horse is Frosted Audemars. He likes it on the class drop, which should increase chance for more speed. Most in here are horses that have already tried this class. Also changed to the top jockey. I'm keen all bets with the 1 and 5 here. So
wow, that's pretty good,
Terry. So the race of death could really be the race of death if that 1 horse wins.
It could be, yeah. If the 1 horse wins, it knocks us out of everything. So
it absolutely, unfortunately, would, Terry. So let's look at race number 5, which is your box it up, Terry, and you don't have the 1 in there.
No, I don't.
You want to change that real quick?
No.
Our box it up is when you take it. You can maybe put it in there instead of the 2 horse if you want.
Well, actually, I'll tell you what. The 5 is my 5th choice. So let's do that.
The 5 is your 5th choice?
I mean, the 1 is my 5th choice. Yeah, the 1.
So you want to put the 1 in there instead of the 2?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so Terry is going to take – Terry's changing on the fly for you, Mike. So there you go. That's the influence you can have. So Terry's box is going to go 4, 5, 3, and not the 2, but the 1.
The 1. Yep, that's what it's going to do.
And this is where we put together a $1 exacta box, a 50-cent trifecta box, and a 10-cent superfecta box. So Terry, tell us why you like the 4, the 5, the 3, and now the 1.
Okay, I like number 4 because Russian to win ran second versus similar to last race and received the highest last speed rating. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters. He's actually tied with another horse. And then I like number 5, Hey Porter. Has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 39% of the races when going from a route to a sprint. And number 3, Frolic Man, finished 5th in the last race after a slow start at Gulfstream Park, and the trainer in the last 14 days has won 2 out of 3 races. And then the number one, yep, the number 1 horse is he actually gets a good jockey, Luis Soares.
The top jock down there.
Yeah, he switches to that. And the post position's winning at a 24% clip. And he's dropping the class, as our guest said.
And we can just put up Mike's commentary.
Yeah.
There you go again, right?
Yeah, that's right. And his best start speed is tied with the other horse that I was referring to earlier. So.
And now Mike's laughing at you.
Is he?
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. All right. So for me in the race of death, I don't have the 1 horse. I don't know if I even had it rated in my top 5. So I'm probably going to regret that, right?
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, it's the way life goes. Sometimes it's horse racing. Sometimes you win. Sometimes you lose. You got to take a stake. But for me, yeah, I actually didn't even have him in there. So I don't really like Russians to win, Terry. I prefer we win. But in this particular spot, I'm not going to bet against the name. 3 consecutive speed figure increases, but only 2 workouts. Well, yeah, only 2 workouts since it last ran on January the 8th. I would probably like to have seen the 3rd one in there. But it does have the top early pace, late pace combination in the field. And I felt like this was one of the more wide open races of the day, Terry, because even still, the horse I feel like coming off the bench might need a race. Number 2, the one you booted, is my second choice. Rhymes Like Dimes. Last time out, had a really good 2 furlong pace improvement. Horse is cutting back in class a little bit. Gets the jockey upgrade to Jose Ortiz. And had some okay workouts since the last race. Number 3, Frolic Man, is a horse that's up the speed ladder 3 consecutive races in a row. It's a quick turnaround for this horse because it last ran on February the 6th. And when it ran some of the best opening fractions any horse in this field. And again, speed matters. And Spring the Beast, Terry. That's my final choice here. This horse has the top pedigree. The horse gets out of the gates really well, has some early speed. And again, you give me that early speed, which was highlighted by some of the best quarter mile fractions last time out. You give it a little bit of Lasix and look out. And that combination made it a tough call for me over the number 6, Rayo Colorado. But I felt like when I was going through this race, this and maybe the last race were the 2 most difficult races or the most open races on the card. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, it is a pretty open race. When you get to see the prime rib, you'll see how open I thought it was.
So you're in a tournament with the 3 entries. So you did 1, 4, and 5. Which tournaments do you do, Mike? I at the last minute, because Terry was a couple seconds behind, I wasn't going to do it, but I got an extra 5 minutes. We qualified for the national handicapping tournament yesterday. So I figured, you know what? I haven't tried it yet. In that 5 minutes, I threw it in for Gulfstream Park today for the Breeders' Cup to see how that one plays out. Because that one's a little bit difficult. Not more difficult, but it's a little bit more difficult to qualify because it's 1 out of 10 instead of 1 out of 5.
Yeah.
So you only have to be in the top 20% to get into Friday's tournament. But I figured, you know what? Terry's giving me an extra few minutes. I didn't have a chance to do it. So I went ahead with it. Horse tourneys and also Derby Wars. Yeah, it's the same stuff Terry does.
Yeah, I played Derby Wars. Matter of fact, I'm playing Derby Wars right now. So trying to get a second spot in the head-to-head contest. So
that's why you're a little distracted.
Yeah, you can tell.
Of course. I'm not I'm dull, but not that dull.
Well, I'm a little distracted with that and writing times down and stuff like that there. So.
Yes, I give Terry some extra chores during the show. So our hot dog pick fours end on the race of death, Terry. You went 2. You tried to sneak a 3rd one in there on me on that first leg, but I'm not that dull, Terry.
I know you caught it today.
Yes, indeed. So Terry went 2-3-3-2. I went 2-2-3-3. I'm hoping that I can get through on the cheap end, on the upfront. Both of us went under budget at only $18. The race of death is over, Terry. Now we move on to race number 6, which is another 6 furlong race, Terry. This one is an allowance $16,000 race. And again, if we review the profile of a winner at 6 furlongs, you'll find 73 races, 67 by fast horses, 32 exactly that went wire to wire. You have a rail bias along with an inside 3. And if you wear a number 8, it's better than a 4 through 7. So we both have the 4 horse. I mean, you're littered with yellow today. You're a school bus today, Terry. This is your best bet as well, number 4.
It is. I like the number 4, and it is my best bet, as you're saying. I like it because Free to Fly finished in the money 14 out of 14 races and won 10 out of those races. She's finished third in the last race, but has the highest last speed rating, and the trainer wins 26% of the time when he brings a beaten favorite back to race again. Best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters, tied with another one. And then number 7, Larimar, only beaten about a length and 3/4 on an all-weather track, and has a high percentage winning jockey and should improve while returning to dirt. Number 5, Dem a Wonder. She has a high percent winning trainer and switches to a high percent winning jockey who in the last 7 days has won 8 out of 24, been in the money 13 times. She has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and her best speed is the fastest among today's starters. She's actually tied with number 4, Free to Fly. And then I like number 1, Awesome Anna Marie. She switches to a high percentage winning jockey, and she drops in class today, and the rail post is winning at a 24% clip.
And they're off, Terry, in race number 1 at Gulfstream Park. Right now, the 4 horse has a lead, Scotty Brown. The 6 horse is trying to close, but I don't know that he's got it. Well, the 4 horse is starting to shorten its strides. The jockey did do the move on him. I mean, he really moved out on the 6 horse. So it ended up going 4, 6, and 1. I'm not quite sure who came in third. So the 4 horse won. Ever since we had on Tony Black and on the show, and this is one of the great things about having all these guests on all the time, Terry, which I absolutely love. Tony Black has mentioned how he would take the horse if he's coming down the stretch and the horse was coming up behind him. He would just and just get in the path, not cause any, not bump anybody. But right. Man, you see it so many. Now that he said it, it's like when you buy a new car. I forget what that phenomenon is called. But when you buy a car and then all of a sudden you never noticed it before and the road is littered with them. Now that he's mentioned it, I see it happen race after race after race after race.
Yeah, me too. So
anyway,
it really brought it to my attention. So I watch for it all the time now. So
yeah, and it's interesting to note because, the more we know, I think the better off we'll be in terms of handicapping. Yeah, I like Free to Fly too, Terry. Your best bet. Has the top early pace numbers in the field, second fastest opening quarter-mile fractions last time out. 10 high-quality races and 10 starts there. You can't get much better than that. Gulfstream Park run 14 times, been in the money 13 times with 6 wins, 4 seconds. At the distance, the horse has run 10 times with 8 wins, a second and a third. I don't know what the morning line is on this horse, but I don't think it's going to be wherever it is right now. I'm sure it's going to drop. With those numbers, let's see real quick what the morning line is on that 4 horse in race number 6, right?
Yeah.
So race 6, the 4 horse he's 9-5. I'll bet you he goes off lower than that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he will. I think it may be 6-5.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes under 1-1. I'm thinking 4-5 myself, Terry. Number 2, Demo Wonder is making its second start off a layoff, and the resume says it's likely to be better in the second start off a layoff. And you have Irad Ortiz, who's winning every single race down there. Just about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, Larimar is another horse that's making its second run off the bench. It ran some of the fastest quarter-mile fractions that any horse has been able to produce. In fact, the fastest. And the horse has had an okay workout since its last race. And then finally, number 3, which was a horse Simplify, is getting a 10-pound weight break, which is a pretty heavy weight break. 3 consecutive pace figure increases, and the horse has some early speed. So, one of the things our Tom mentioned, that he likes to look for horses that have early speed and are getting a big weight break, because that speed can carry a lot longer. And a 10-pound weight break is about as big as I see on just about any race. And this horse has run the distance twice with 2 seconds at Gulfstream 11 times. It's finished in the money 5 out of 11. Race number 7 is my best bet, Terry. It also a number 4 horse, On Alert. Race number 7 is 1 mile and 16th on the turf for right now. If you look at these turf routes, they're again on the turf. Speed matters. They've had 62 turf routes, 37 won by fast horses. 16 of the 62 went wire to wire. The post positions play fair from 1 through 7, but if you get it 8 or up, there is a penalty. I like On Alert as my best bet of the day because it ran the top last race speed figure last time out and has since put in 19 furlongs of workouts. So the horse is in form. The horse is going to be fit. Last time out, it had enormous late race improvement. So I'm expecting to see that in this upcoming race. Horse has the top pedigree. And last time out, before it did all these workouts, ran a speed figure above par for this class. How about you?
Yeah, I like number 4 On Alert because it did win its last race at Gulfstream Park on the turf and received the highest last race speed rating. The trainer wins 25% of the time when he's got second-time Lasix in the horse. And then her best turf speed was the fastest among today's starters, and this jockey's on fire right now. Won 40% of the races in the last 7 days that he's ridden. And then number 7, My Philly Twirl. Won last race at Gulfstream Park on the turf. Has a really good workout February 8th. Number 1, Surreal Fantasy. Bumped hard in her last race and lost all chance. Drops in class today. Lasix is added, and the trainer wins 25% of the time when he uses Lasix for the first time. And then number 3, Love Her Lots. Won 2 out of the last 3 races in her career. And she's breeding suggests she will like the grass. The trainer wins 25% of the time when bringing a winner back to race again.
Mm-hmm. So at that first Gulfstream, just kind of update the payouts here. Scotty Brown, the 4 horse, did win, followed by the 6 horse. And then the 1, Zip Line to Heaven. And then the number 7, Aeronaut. So that, and it's kind of chalky, to be honest with you. The exacta paid, well, they haven't posted the payouts yet. I don't know why Gulfstream, hold on. I know why, because I'm on the wrong damn race. So you look at the $1 exacta, paid $6.66, not much, $6.60. We don't want that last 6 there. 10-cent superfecta, 4617, $1.89. If you played the trifecta 461, it paid $8.45. So hopefully we can get a few more prices a little bit later on in the day, Terry. So beyond my best bet in race number 7, I think the top 2 horses in this race are they stand above the rest of them, in my opinion. Last time out, we saw some big improvement from My Philly Twirl all across the board. The 2 furlong number, the 4 furlong number, the late pace numbers in race number 2. And the horse had some pretty good workouts since then. Kitten's Collusion gets the top jockey, Luis Saez, here instead of riding on the number 1, which, again, was interesting to me. The horse put in 16 furlongs of workouts and then since that last race. And I did have the number 5 here, but the horse scratched, I think, a little bit on the late side. So Love Her Lots fits in as the next choice. Last time out on the all-weather, the horse ran really well, first off the bench. So sometimes that all-weather can translate to the turf very nicely. The horse has not run on turf yet, so I expect this horse to be mid-pack and closing for Miguel Vasquez. The last race of the day, Senor Terry, is race number 8. So we had a short card today, unlike those Philadelphia cards. This one is 1 mile and 70 yards on the all-weather track. So it's, I think, the first time we're going all-weather. They've had 81 races. 46 of them were won by stalkers or closers. So it's the first race of the day where we're going to get away from those speed horses, Terry. 46, some of them I said won by stalking or closing. 8 went wire to wire. There is a slight inside 3 bias, and there's a big-time 8+ penalty. You're all over Russia today. La Russia.
Yeah.
Putin. Putin stooge, you're a Putin stooge, Terry.
Yeah, I like the number 4, La Russia. She ran second versus similar in the last race, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And the trainer in the last 14 days has won 2 out of 6 starts and has won second. Number 6, English Charmer, switches to high percentage jockey and a high percentage, and the trainer wins 20% of the time when he starts a horse for the second time with a turn. The jockey in the last 7 days has won 6 out of 22. Kentucky Pride, number 3, finishes third versus similar last race. The trainer wins 19% of the time in the second race after a layoff. And then number 10, Koshia. Koshia.
Kosha, whatever.
Yeah, I think it's Japanese or something. Anyway, wins switches to a high percentage winning jockey. And in the last 7 days, that jockey has won 8 out of 24.
This race, Terry, I think is another one that's pretty wide open. These last races are always pretty wide open. This is my box it up for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And we're in the last race now, right? Yeah, we are.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I just want to make sure I get confused sometimes, but this one is my box it up for the day, Terry. I trying to find odds today were a little bit difficult at times. I was thinking about boxing up race number 5 like you, but I don't want us to do the same thing. So I want to have a little bit of different stuff to look at. 3-6-1. He likes 3-6-1 in the last leg here, Mike. So I got the 3, the 6, and the 1. So I hope you're right because I'm boxing it up for a $1 exacta box, 50-cent trifecta box, 10-cent superfecta box. And I like the 3-horse Kentucky Pride because it has the top early pace and late pace combination for this field. It did have a really big pop in terms of its speed number the first time off the bench. So I'm a little bit worried about a bounce. But if it just drops a little bit, that's okay because it should still be able to handle this crew. And there's a workout in between, a maintenance workout. So I'm hoping that the horse has kept its fitness. La Russia, your 4th 4 in a row, Terry, in 5 out of 4 races on the last 5 out of the last 6 races. Terry has the 4 winning. This horse is making its first start since January the 1st, since New Year's Day, since they were still playing bowl games. 12 furlongs of workouts since January the 23rd. So this horse has been busy. Last time out, did run some of the fastest quarter-mile fractions, and this is a Denzel. I mean, if there is a definition of a Denzel Washington horse, a Bob Dylan horse, this is the one they should put in the Webster's Dictionary because it's run 27 times lifetime, has 1 win, finished in second place 12 times. That is the definition of a hanger. And it finished third 3 times. Number 1, Eagle Eye, is the other one that's tied for the top early pace and late pace. In fact, when you look at the 3 and the 1, they have some of the top early pace numbers and they have the top late pace numbers. So I wouldn't be surprised if the 3 and the 1 run basically 2-3, 3-4, 1-2 all the way around the track. Anyway, this horse, Eagle Eyes, put together 3 consecutive speed figure increases. It's a horse that is making its second start off the layoff, and another one that put up a pretty nice speed number relative to the rest of its races in the first race. So another one that could back up a little bit in this race, speed number wise. But again, if it just backs up a little bit, it should still be enough to find its way in the money. And then finally, number 6, English Charmer. Was a tough call with your 10, Terry, but with that 8+ penalty, I went with English Charmer. This is a horse that has 3 speed figure increases in a row, making its second start off a bench. And Jose Ortiz has been lighting it up down there too. He gets on this horse for the first time. And it was, again, a tough call for me on this one over the 10, the 8, and the 5. And the last race, of course, wraps up our hot dog pick for us, Terry. So our prime rib pick for us. So we both structured our tickets kind of differently today, Terry. I went crazy in the last leg. I almost hit the all button, but you went ahead 4-2-4-5. You went 5-2-4-5 for $100. I went 4 in the first leg, 3 in the second leg, 2 in race number 7. And then I just said, you know what? I had a hard time deciding between those last horses. And I just threw them all in there. So in building my ticket, I started at the bottom with all those horses and then worked my way up.
Yeah, and as you can see, I said that in that first race that I thought was pretty wide open, and I had already included the 1 in there. So I have, like you said, 5 horses. And then in the last race, I'm like you. I think it's pretty wide open. So I have 5 horses in there. So I'm hoping that my fours win the middle two at least.
Well, if it goes 4-4-4-4-4, we all win. But we somewhere in here with all these horses, Terry, we have to hope we hit a really nice price today.
Yeah.
That's something that that's why we put some of those in there. So in the final race, he says maybe the second two, maybe third or fourth. So in that last leg, Mike.
Yep.
All right, Terry. So that pretty much wraps up the show. Let's run through all of our picks again real quick. So here is the full card. The first race is already in. Our four horses finished in some order: first, second, third, and fourth. I think that went 4, 6, 1, 7. A little chalky on that respect. Race number 2 starts our hot dog pick fours, Terry.
Mm-hmm.
So there they are. Terry and I, let's see, we can go 5, 3, 3, 6, 9, and then the 4. So that 4 horses the key to the end. Both of us only putting up $18. Our prime rib pick 4 one more time. That's the last 4 races. If the 4 wins every race, Terry's going to have a fantastic day, unquestionably.
Yep.
And then our box it ups. Terry's doing race 5. I'm going to do race number 8. I feel like that's one of the more, as we mentioned, wide open races. So hopefully we can catch a little bit of odds there. And then, of course, Terry, if you'd like to, we would certainly appreciate your help. If you haven't done it yet, head on over to horseracingtoday.net. Click on, so if you go over here, horseracingtoday.net, there's Terry's best race of the day, race number 6, with the 4, the 7, and the 5. This is where he feels like he can get some good stuff in there. But if you haven't done it yet, click on the, press too many buttons. Click on the Horse Racing Today gear link over here. Head on over to Fantac, and then you can get the saddlecloth shirts and saddlecloth hats, which are supposed to be forthcoming, Terry. I don't know when they're coming, but they should be coming soon.
Okay, good.
I'm ready to get them all because I can't wait to wear them. I know you ordered them. Hopefully your package shows up today or tomorrow. Do you have a timeline on when that might happen?
Yeah, it's supposed to be here today or tomorrow. So
okay,
I'm going to check on it later on today and see what's going on. So
beautiful. Again, tonight, Sean and I will be back at 8 p.m. Eastern with jockey Jose A. Vargas. That should be a pretty good show. Tomorrow night, we will be with trainer Anthony Ferrier. We'll be discussing some of the big races at Laurel on Saturday. Terry and I will be back on Saturday. We'll be talking about some of the big stakes races at Fairgrounds, including the Risen Star Stakes, which is, I think that it is the first 50-point race. Chris will have his write-up on that race for the Road to the Kentucky Derby over at horseracingtoday.net. So make sure you go check that out. We'll be posting an update to his rankings a little bit later today. A really nice story about a gentleman and his family and how horse racing brought him back together with his dad, which is one of the cool things about our sport. And then I think that's it for this hump day, Terry.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. So anyway, did you talk about Thursday night? I think you did.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Trainer Anthony Ferrier. And oh, yes. So what I did not talk about is Foreign Fridays with Tom. Tom and I will be here at 1 o'clock Eastern on Foreign Friday. We're going to be doing Shaitan in Hong Kong again. So I'm becoming very familiar with these foreign tracks, Terry.
Oh, good. Yeah, you're getting pretty good at them too. How'd you guys do last week? Do pretty good?
We had some nice ones last week at Australia. For some reason, we do pretty good in Australia, and we have a pretty good Australian following. Whenever we do an Australian show, we get far more viewers than we do for any other continent or track.
Yeah. So. Well, I love Australia as far as racing. I was there in I don't know 4 or 5 years ago and went to 2 or 3 different tracks, and I liked it a lot. You know, I liked the way you could bet and watch the races there. The people were really good too. So
nice and friendly. I've not been there. So all right, Terry. Well, that wraps up this hump day. We are about 10 minutes away from 8 minutes away from race number 2, the beginning of the first pick 4. We certainly hope that all of our tickets and maybe Mike's one in the race of death, Terry, ends up where?
In the winner's circle.
Absolutely. We'll see you tonight with Sean at 8 p.m. Eastern. Until then, everybody, have a fantastic hump day.